Alright, welcome back to the second map between LiiLD.C and ToD. It is Echo Isles and ToD is spawning on the left hand side. He's going for the altar first again, and he's probably again going to go for the barracks second. He's up 1-0. Things are looking quite alright for him. And LiiLD.C on the right hand side is going for the altar first again as well, this time going for the Ancient 4 in front of his green camp. Way less promising for a warden, so I guess the most likely choice that we're gonna see here, especially with the Ancient 4 in front of the green camp, is going to be the Demon Hunter. But we'll see if LiiLD.C thinks so as well. Okay, Peasant is going to build a scout farm somewhere up front here, as ToD has been doing this entire tournament so far. The altar is going to finish here. ToD is probably going to go for the IEM again.
Job's done.
Yeah. Farm is finishing, and there he is, scout militia heading across the map. And yeah, it is the Demon Hunter by the Night Elf player. So as expected, not really too reasonable to go for the warden together with this little creep, as it's really difficult to, after starting with this one, get the warden up to level 3 somewhat quickly, which is what she very much relies on. Scout by LiiLD.C now also heading across the map.
Ready for action.
Nothing all too spectacular, of course. In the very beginning of this second map in the series, Footman is heading towards the bottom here, so it looks like ToD is not going to go ahead and creep this one as well. And we've seen basically all creep camps that are possible to begin with by the humans on this map in this tournament. Meaning this one, the Merc camp, the instant expansion, and it looks like this time it's going to be the instant expansion by ToD, as he's pulling the 4 militia. And he's gonna go down there immediately. LiiLD.C with the Wisp is building an Ancient of Wonders to pull the creeps here, as we can see, immediately triggering a Bloodlust by the Ogre Magi. And with that early Bloodlust, he's getting a second Bloodlust casted onto the Forest Troll Trapper number 2 as well. So the Ancient automatically here is going to take a little bit more damage. The Demon Hunter is coming in quite quickly after picking up the Claws of Attack +6 at his green camp. Second creep has been taken down by ToD. The first of ToD's Peasants is falling as well. Peasants are back in peasant shape. Militia duration is over. The next one is going to fall as well, but to the hands of this IEM, so no further experience for the Demon Hunter, who used another mana burn here, but now has to retreat. Perhaps he can come in for one more mana burn, just to prevent ToD from casting another Water Mantle, but I mean, he's so low already, there's not really all too much he can achieve here anymore with more harassment, so he's been a little bit overly aggressive here, I feel like, because he could have definitely stayed in there for longer if he had been a little bit more careful with his harassment, and even with his last breath, as it appears the Forest Troll Trapper did throw an ensnare onto this archer, and that secures ToD to level 2 as well as getting rid of 2 of LiiLD.C's suppliers. So decent, a very decent start here for the human player, despite losing 2 of his peasants. I'm guessing, yeah, he's bringing down more from his main base, and he's pulling the Murlocs. And LiiLD.C, well, he in the meantime has bought a Staff of Teleportation as well as boots, staffed home, healed up, and looks like he's gonna go for a second round against this human expansion, which is looking to be, you know, quite safe already by the time he comes there. ToD with 4 footmen, with a 5th footman spawning here already, but he's gonna go scout for a counter expansion, but this one has not been crept. LiiLD.C is pulling the creeps here, buying the Forest Troll Berserker. Demon Hunter continues doing some more creeping, as I just stated. But yeah, this expansion is extremely safe. The tower is even soon to finish already. It's only an arcane tower, but against the Panda second or anything like that, it would definitely be helpful. No lumber mill yet for ToD, so we're not gonna see a guard tower here anytime soon. But yeah, nevertheless, things are looking fine for the Frenchman. Hunter's Horde is coming. Probably just in time for LiiLD.C to finish upon finishing tier 2. ToD is heading out towards the middle. He could even continue creeping here. The footman now sees the Demon Hunter continuing to creep with his Ancient of War at the marketplace. One more archer has been reduced here before, you know, uprooting again and heading here. Demon Hunter with the greater mana portion, not all too great for him now, but he can perhaps keep it and pass it on to a second hero, which he's definitely gonna get eventually. And ToD with the level 3 creeping right now. Gonna get the Ogre Mauler, gonna get another item, hopefully for him, I guess. The Sentry Wards, now he's getting the Lightning Shield, which at this point shouldn't be all too great anymore. First Ancient of Lore is coming, shop has finished. Demon Hunter with a Staff of Preservation as well as a Healing Potion. And where is he staffing? Towards the tavern, where he's picking up the Naga, actually, not the Panda. And he did sell the greater mana potion that he found at the marketplace. And ToD is gonna come in here with a very nice timing. Actually, he should be able to cancel this one. And this Wisp is building the Ancient of War Ancient of Lore so far outside of his own main base. I think ToD is probably not going to be able to scout that one. He's actually going for the Naga immediately, not for the kill on the Ancient of Lore. In the meantime, the Demon Hunter and 2 more units do some harassment. Only 2 Arcane Towers are up here, so this Demon Hunter is not taking all too much damage by those. And now ToD decides to change focus fire and go for one of the Ancients of Lore, while still keeping some pressure on that Naga. See if he's overdoing it here. No, he isn't. He's clearly putting out enough damage output to still easily cancel this Ancient of Lore, so that's pretty fine for ToD. At the same time, he's losing plenty of peasants, so inside his expansion, as you can see, the Demon Hunter up to level 3 already. The Naga has to use plenty of the Moonshoes in the meantime in her own base. A couple of Wisps being evacuated, and ToD is going for... Okay, now he realizes it. No longer going for the Tree of Ages. In the meantime, the Demon Hunter continues creeping here. Hardly any damage taken on these units. The Demon Hunter taking a bit of damage, but he's got the potion, so he's all fine. And ToD has lost his entire economy at his expansion, and now it looks like the Demon Hunter is satisfied with what he's done, and he's TPing home, defending his base. Finally, it looks like the Naga might still fall, or can the Demon Hunter get close to her in any way to stop ToD from getting the kill? No, even the sheep makes sure that... Wow. Okay, the sheep is helping both equally, which means the AM still ends up getting the kill. The Demon Hunter here did get only one of the footmen killed thus far. So ToD not really losing all too much, and LiiLD.C delayed by quite a bit. He's getting the counter expansion up here. He's got 1 Ancient of Lore up, and he's getting his Naga back. So I'm gonna hold back on making a judgment until this harassment is finally over. Lightning Shield used on one of the Wisps here. Not sure if he maybe killed another Wisp with it. Another Footman is falling, the first Ride is out. Second charge of the Lightning Shield used onto this Footman, doing some more damage, but quite easily dealt with. The Demon Hunter does still have that heal potion, and he's gonna have to use that one right now. Really waiting there until the very last moment, going for the AM right now. He's got boots, but so does the Demon Hunter, and with the Naga, yeah, Naga is spawning. The AM is immediately falling back just a little bit, perhaps anticipating some focus fire there, but it's not coming. LiiLD.C just makes sure to get rid of those footmen one by one, just to get rid of the threat. He's buying another heal potion. It was on cooldown there for just a brief moment, but now he can use it, and he does so. Ancient of War got a little bit overly ambitious there, and he, as well as one of the Dryads, are paying for that with their life. Naga second for ToD right now as well. So by this point, there's still no second Ancient of Lore. That's just being recreated right now. So unless LiiLD.C can get aggressive here very soon and get some very favorable trades in, he's going to find himself in a very difficult position. ToD is tier 2, he's getting the Naga, which is basically already telling that there's going to be a workshop here, and yeah, 2 Arcane Sanctums, 1 workshop. That this is going to be a big tier 2 push, and he's won so much time. Yes, he's lost some mining time, he's lost a few peasants. Demon Hunter is soon to be level 4, but this Ancient of Lore delay, the delay of LiiLD.C creeping his expansion, and this expansion is even being harassed even further by more of the creeps. And yeah, LiiLD.C has to creep here first, and he doesn't really even have the army that you usually want to have in those kind of situations where you want to get aggressive before the humans tier 2 army gets too large and where you want to trade as a Night Elf as long as you can trade favorably. But I mean, with 2 heroes and 2 dryads, I'm not so sure. ToD's going to the shop, getting scrolls, I guess, and an invul potion. In the meantime, starts creeping his Naga a little bit. I mean, ToD has lost a bunch of units as well, but he's getting his casters already. He's gonna get his first mortar team already. And LiiLD.C is left with an empty shop. Cannot buy anything he wants to here.
The great outdoors.
Didn't even rebuy a town portal. He's got a third Dryad out right now. And he's not even going tier 3 as well. So it looks like he's really taken some significant damage economically there. Bunch of wisps had to be pulled away here. Lost quite a bit of harvesting time as well. And ToD is putting a lot of militia to deal with these Dryads and the 2 heroes. Now retreating. 1 footman gets killed. But yeah, still he doesn't go tier 3. So yeah, ToD doesn't have a single tower here, but I think the base is probably closed. So it's going to be difficult for LiiLD.C to really get into a hit and run game, perhaps with the... Is he passed? Yeah, he's passing the staff in the last second. He's gonna have a difficult time getting into a hit and run game here with only Dryads and those 2 heroes, which are very mobile, especially compared to like the human casters and mortars. Let's see if he's getting the next kill on one of the mortar teams. So he's doing well with the few units that he's got at the moment, but is it well enough is the question. It is well, at least. It's gonna turn out at the end of the game if it was well enough. So yeah, now he's going tier 3, okay, so he's not gonna go full hit and run, which is also not really a style that is too promising on Echo Isles, where it's very easy for the human to always be aware of where the Night Elf is, and there's no, you know, sneaky expansions to get through or anything like that. So not all too promising. That's why I was a little bit surprised that there was no quicker tier 3 tech by LiiLD.C to get to bears quicker, to deal with this push more quickly, but I guess there were just no resources available for that. Another wisp is floating in here. AM needs 2 more hits probably, it's not getting them. LiiLD.C 48 supply, ToD at 59 already, but he is really lacking lumber here. But he just has enough to still continue producing here. As you can see, 2 more breakers about to spawn, 2 more Sorks coming afterwards, another mortar team coming soon. ToD is closing in on the 70 supply mark. He still has 1 of those heal scrolls remaining, whereas LiiLD.C has just broken into low upkeep right now. And yeah, the time of LiiLD.C being very aggressive here and just sniping those low, or these weak human units while they are still low in numbers is probably over. He also still has a staff of, again has a staff of preservation on a demon hunter. I think if he's getting aggressive here, he may want to give that one to the Naga, just to be able to keep a distance with everything but the demon hunter, snipe some stuff, staff the demon hunter, and run away with the rest.
Research finished.
But yeah, against this human army, 80 supply already. That's not gonna be the easiest task in the world.
Our town is under siege.
But he's still trying. Let's see, he's starting to gather bears in the meantime in his main base. This Ancient of Law is getting the master upgrade, so LiiLD.C is getting ready to fight. I mean, as ready as he can get probably. 61 against 78. Upgrade wise, nothing I guess for ToD, since he doesn't have the lumber anyways. Yeah, no upgrades for... Oh, 1-0 upgrades actually. Just finished for the breakers. And 1-0 on everything for LiiLD.C as well. But ToD is getting ready here to push down this expansion. Starts building a tower down there. It's getting to the shop once again. I guess he's gonna get another heal scroll, at least 1. Ah, okay, LiiLD.C got 1 heal scroll actually. So I guess there still should be another one available. It's been a while since ToD bought those 2 previously. And LiiLD.C is getting aggressive again. He doesn't want to give ToD to just the time to just calmly walk across the map. By the way, yes, new heal scroll for ToD.
Our
To
town
walk
is
across the
under
map and
siege.
be here. And not get punished for it. But even if he loses the altar here and the farm and the tower, maybe, I mean, sniping that expansion in the meantime would definitely be worth it. So I think LiiLD.C is gonna have to defend here if he wants to stay in this game, and that's exactly what he's doing. Town portal is being pulled, and is ToD, yeah, ToD isn't even bothering to fight. He's just sniping the tree. He's losing 1 Sorg in return, as well as those 2 towers. But yeah, so worth it for ToD. 65 supply against 78, and ToD can just calmly push forward now and get into a good position, not have the Night Elf army TP right on top of his vulnerable units. And LiiLD.C is going to have to make a miracle happen to come back into this game. ToD did get a new town portal here. Everything seems kind of safe. AM soon to be level 4. Naga 2.5. Demon Hunter staffing towards the top again. With an orb by now as well. And this Naga also 2.5. And he just continues trying to apply some pressure to ToD. Trying to keep ToD on the run. Trying to just not have ToD run towards the right hand side of the map and finish him. But maybe ToD can just finish him on the left hand side of the map here. Demon Hunter's coming in for a mana burn. This sorcerer's a little bit out of position. He'd like to initiate the fight with a couple of slows and the Naga's cold arrow coming into position. And now he might be able to do so. Or not. The Demon Hunter's getting slowed right now. Staffing the bear here. Does the Naga have a staff as well? Yes. So she's gonna have to turn around any second now and staff this Demon Hunter. Or not. Now he's turning around with everything. ToD's trying to get this around, but Naga is there to staff. So yeah, another bunch of seconds won for LiiLD.C. But ToD is using Flare here. He's just wondering, is there another expansion coming? And there is none. And therefore things are still looking very good for the human player. Militia duration now over. The question is just how long is LiiLD.C going to be continuing to try and stall ToD? Or what's the long-term plan? There's another Tree of Life coming down here right now. So that's the long-term plan. Dance around, build a couple more units. Perhaps get to 80 supply. I mean, now it's 78 against 80. ToD with 3 heal scrolls though. And 3 invo potions. And 2-1 upgrades on the breakers and 1-0 on the mortars against 2-1 on the bears. And it looks like LiiLD.C might actually be willing to take a fight here. Quite interesting, coming from the bottom with these strides. The Demon Hunter is getting the staff of teleportation used towards the bottom, but look at what the mortar teams are doing to those strides. The heal scroll has been used down there immediately as the Demon Hunter was arriving. The bears are having a tough time against the breakers. The Dryades are having a terrible time against these mortar teams. All of them have fallen already. The Demon Hunter has to town portal soon here if he doesn't want to die. And there are only 2 bears left standing, as well as the Naga. And the Demon Hunter, he TPs out. The Naga is falling. The Forest Roar Berserker is falling as well. And TP out by LiiLD.C. The second map, very, very well done by ToD. And a pretty much deserved victory. He did well in the beginning. He hardly took any damage there by the harassment of LiiLD.C. He ended up dealing a lot more damage to LiiLD.C's economy than LiiLD.C was able to deal to ToD's economy by harassing his peasant line at the expansion. And ToD just ended up with somewhat quick tier 2 finishing, getting his casters out quickly, getting his tier 2 army out quickly. LiiLD.C trying to go for the counter expansion extremely, or somewhat late. And there was just nothing to do for him anymore. He was just way too outmassed by ToD at the point when he got his counter expansion into play finally. So that means ToD wins this one with 2-0. And that means ToD is finished in this group stage. But we will see him again in the playoffs. And LiiLD.C not yet out. But very specifically, stuff needs to happen for him to stay in this tournament. And to be precise, in the next best of 3 between Dovak and Rob, Rob has to win with 2-1. Any other score, Dovak winning, or Rob winning 2-0 would not be good enough. So a lot on the line there for LiiLD.C in the next best of 3, in which he's not taking part. And as I just said, that's what we'll see next, Dovak against Rob. But not for now. For now, we're finished. And yeah, as I said, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.